Young thrill-seeking burglars are committing increasingly brazen ram raids on Auckland businesses, from dairies, service stations, malls to stores like these, Louis Vuitton and Gucci, both hit in a late-night ram raid earlier this month. And the scary part is most ram raid offenders caught are under the age of 20, some reportedly even as young as 11. The government claims to be doing all they can to stop the wave of ram raids, delivering fog cannons to business owners in collaboration with Retail New Zealand. But National argue policy changes are what's needed most.
The police have got a tough job at the moment. They are trying to police with one hand tied behind their back. And so that's why the police are arresting them on a Thursday night and having to deal with them again on a Friday night. And of course, you know, the real victims in the whole thing are our store owners and shopkeepers and members of the public that are now starting to get caught up in all this violence and crime.
Police Minister Poto Williams says the pursuit policy has done more good than harm and a review isn't being discussed.
One of the great outcomes in the change of the pursuits policy is that nobody has died. And, since the change, and that's got to be a great statistic. And what police do after a pursuit is that they follow up with that person. I mean, that's got to be something that we celebrate in terms of the police. But speaking directly to the ram raids that have been happening in the last few weeks, police have a real role in community safety, but they're not always all of the answer. So, here I'm saying to people who are out there who are really concerned about this, let's look at finding some solutions that we can put in place that stop the ram raids happening in the first place.
Stats show there's been a decline in youth crime. Last year, there were 900 children and young people aged between 10 and 16 in court, a decrease by at least 10% every year since 2018. But the Police Association says it doesn't necessarily reflect the reality.
Do have to be always careful, is that the way we're recording it, or is that the reality? But we do know a vast amount of the crime you're seeing is actually committed by a very small number of persistent recidivist offenders. It's not the first time they've committed them. Most of them will be known to police, will be known to OT. And so, there's a lot of work needs to be done. But if we don't, we're failing them, but we're also failing society, because they will go on to commit more serious crimes and victimise more people.
The recent offending's seen criticism resurface over the government's soft on crime approach, something the Police Minister profusely denies.
I'm absolutely appalled at the thought that people are saying that I'm soft on crime. I'm an advocate for family violence victims, and I'm not soft on anyone, and I'm not soft on any of these issues.
Police currently are policing in a very tough environment. They've had a whole lot of additional tasks thrust upon them that takes them away from their core role. And their core role is preventing crime, detecting crime, and being able to investigate crime. And then you've got a soft on crime government.